Hello, I welcome all of you to another video in this series, Nectar in our series. So today we'll be starting with chapter 29. The memories of that night are hard and bright within me like a diamond, and the fires that flash from it have strange powers. Some are blue and wrap me gently in their glow, or green and soothing like oxen eyes in the night. But there are others, yellow and red, that sear me with their intensity. When this happens, I call to the mists, and they come like clouds that cover the sun. But the fires themselves are always there. They will never be extinguished until my life itself is done. What do I remember? Every word, every detail. I remember walking along the wet, deserted street by the wall of the temple. I remember looking up for the flare that had ever burnt on the top of the temple, and it was quenched, and the black demons of fear came shrieking at my ear and would not be silenced. For all that I repeated like a mad woman, fire cannot burn in water. I saw faces of men who were not there, and of children from whom the life had been filched. Filched means stolen. So diamond is a hard element. They laid my husband on the paved floor, and I sank down beside him. Somebody brought a light, a hurricane lantern that burned steady in the stormy wind. Somebody else water. His body was caked in mud, wet and dirty. I wiped him clean, took his head in my lap. The knot of people who had come so far with me melted away into the darkness in ones and twos when they saw how it was. Nathan's head kept twitching from side to side. He called to our sons and muttered words that I did not understand. The rays from the lantern fell on his wasted face. So very sad and dark imagery is brought out here. Imageries of death. On the tight yellowed skin, on the lips split with fever, on his limbs which were like a child's. Sometimes his breath came between his chattering teeth in gusts, rising above the rain and the winds that swished down the corridors. Uh, at other times, I had to bend to listen. Hour after hour, his body suffered. His mind had fled from the tormented flesh. Midnight approached, the time of in between when there it is neither day nor night, when nature seems to pause, to sigh and turn and prepare for another day. Midnight, and as always before, his paroxysms means attacks. East, the fits of shivering stopped, the stiff limbs fell limp and relaxed. In the calm stillness, I saw him open his eyes. His hand came to my face, tender and searching, wiping away the unruly tears. You must not cry, dearest. What has to be, has to be. Hush, I said. Rest and grow better. I have only to stretch out my hand, he said, to feel the coldness of death. Would you hold me when time is come? I am at peace. Do not grieve. If I grieve, I said, it is not for you, but for myself, beloved, for how shall I endure to live without you, who are my love and my life? You are not alone, he said. I live in my children, and he was silent, and then I heard him murmur my name and bent down. Have we not been happy together? Always, my dearest, always. It is slipping away fast. He said, rest with me a little. And so I laid my face on his, and for a while his breath fell soft and light as a rose petal on my cheek. Then he sighed as if in weariness. So actually he sighed because he was going to die, and turned his face to me. And so his gentle spirit withdrew, and the light went out in his eyes. So Nathan's end is brought out here. So memories will not die until a life ends as they are strong. The similes are drawn from nature. The last death is presented beautifully. Death is presented in an acceptable manner, simile, soft and tender. Death is pathetic but beautiful. In weakness and sickness, he called to his sons as he felt he was dying. We can see that here. And so close that earth is the only thing that will separate them, nothing else. So earth is the only thing that would separate them. Nothing else can separate them, not even death. Tender relationship between husband and wife. Life was a struggle in spite of the pathetic stiffness. There was immeasurable love. So actually, their whole life was very gloomy and sad, and The fate of Nathan was not so good. He died in a very unfortunate manner, and we can see that here in this chapter. So, moving on with the last chapter of this novel, and with that, we'll be ending this novel series. We'll be start reading chapter 30. The days went by, Nathan no longer beside me, no more ashes. Uh, No more ashes and dust scattered to the winds, moistened by rain, unrecognizable. I picked up the fragments of my life and put them together, all but the missing piece, and out of my affliction I called the pulley. I do not know what words I use when I think of what I may have said. I shiver. Rich promises to lure a child, so afflictions means problem. Before I knew it could be kept, priceless treasure of health not mine to give. So she had promised that she would cure him if he came. And he, compassionate creature who drew from me the arrows of sorrow one by one, listened, and when I came home, I was not alone. So to fill the space of Nathan, actually, she called to him. She called for him to come. So good to be home at last, the car jolted to a standstill. I looked about me at the land, and it was life to my starving spirit. I felt the earth beneath my feet and wept for happiness. The time of in between, already a memory, coiled away like a snake within its hole. From the unfinished folded building, uh, emerged, building, a figure emerged, came running. Selvam, my son, thank God, he said. Are you all right? And he held me. My daughter joined us, her haste making her breathless. Pulling along was not of the family, standing a little apart awkwardly, clutching in his arms the dum-dum cart I called him. My son, I said, we adopted him, your father and I. You look tired and hungry, Ira said, taking his arm. Come with me and rest. I'll prepare the rice. They walked on. Do not worry, Selvam said. We shall manage. So Selvam had managed the family for a long time since they had been gone. And there was a silence. I struggled to say what had to be said. So Rukmani actually struggled to say that who Nathan died. There was a silence. Do not talk of it, he said tenderly, unless you must. So Rukmani says, it was a gentle passing. I said, I will tell you later. So with that, the novel ends. So she tries to put back all the memories into the picture, but Nathan is missing. So she had promised, as I said earlier, to cure Polly. Nathan's suffering death is compared to a snake in a home. Occasionally comes. So happiness unbelievable. Sorrow is like a wounded body, but the one who eased it was Puli. So Puli was the one who actually brought an a sort of consolation for Rukmani, to for Rukmani to come out of his sadness, or out of her sadness. So actually, the end part of the novel connects to the beginning, as we said at the beginning, where she says that sometimes at night I think that my husband is with me again. So this novel connects automatically to the beginning. So that's how this novel connects. So it is sort of a memory flashback, and we can see how in the first chapter again it says how she remembers her husband is as though if her husband is coming to her every day. So that's how the novel is. And actually, this is a very nice novel. It is a happiness that for me too that we were able to continue it for so long. So with that, we end the whole novel. And there are some keywords down here, some Indian words. You can take a screenshot of this. So these are simple words. The bidi, bulbul tara, chakli, chaukida, dal, dhoti, ghee, go down, golsu, jaggery, jutka, kol, kumkum, maidan, namaskar, olok, pandal, pattas, peons, seminda. So words whose meaning is readily apparent have not been included, as they say. So this is the end of the novel. So thank you for all of you for joining with me for so long. And we'll of course meet in the future with another book and with another video, possibly from some IT IT, from IT or history or any other subject that I prefer, I will be posting videos of that. So stay tuned in and forgive me if I am not able to post videos because I'm currently facing for my exams. It is in August, so most probably I won't be able to post it frequently. So with that, we'll be ending and thank you for listening. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video with everyone you know, and click the bell icon. Do click the bell icon for more notifications. Thank you.